6 separate stories. A reality that shifts and suddenly turns unpredictable, crossing the divide between civilization and barbarism. Everyday encounters that drive people to madness as they lose control. Segment 1, Pasternak. During a conversation between two passengers on a plane, they find out they have a connection to a man by the name of Gabriel Pasternak. While the man, a music critic, fiercely criticized Pasternak's work, the woman, who happens to be Pasternak's ex-girlfriend, admits to having a relationship with his only friend. It is surprising to learn that every passenger on the flight has a connection to Pasternak. A flight attendant reveals that Pasternak is the cabin chief and has locked himself in the cockpit, which makes the situation unsettling. Despite Pasternak's former psychiatrist's best efforts to talk sense into his head, chaos ensues, and tragically, Pasternak crashes the plane into his own parents' home. Segment 2, The Rats. At a roadside restaurant, a waitress recognizes a loan shark who had previously destroyed her family and led to her father's premature death. The chef suggests lacing the man's food with rat poison, recalling the harm he caused. Although the waitress declines the proposal, unknown to her, the cook secretly adds the poison. However, when the waitress discovers this, she doesn't take the dish from the man. The loan shark's teenage son arrives and begins sharing the meal, forcing the waitress to intervene to prevent harm to the boy. Her attempt leads to an altercation where he attacks her. Taking advantage of the opportunity, the cook fatally injures the loan shark with a chef's knife. In the aftermath, the loan shark's son receives medical attention. Meanwhile, the cook is apprehended and taken away in a police car. Segment 3, Road to Hell. While traveling through a desert, Diego tries to pass an older, slower car that keeps getting in the way. When he eventually overtakes the car, he insults the other driver, Mario. Diego experiences a flat tire, allowing Mario to catch up. In retaliation, Mario parks in front of Diego, shatters his windshield, and proceeds to defecate and urinate on the car. When Mario is about to leave, Diego pushes Mario and his vehicle into a nearby river and drives away. However, fearing retribution, Diego decides to return and run down Mario, but loses control and crashes into the same river. Subsequently, a physical altercation ensues when Mario enters Diego's car. Mario sets Diego's car on fire, but Diego manages to prevent Mario from escaping. Just as the car explodes, a tow truck driver called by Diego earlier arrives. The police later discover the charred bodies of the two men, holding on to each other. Segment 4, Little Bomb. Simon Fisher, a specialist in demolitions, picks up a cake for his daughter's birthday, but finds his car has been towed. At the impound lot, he explains the absence of no parking signs but has to pay the towing fee, and misses his daughter's party. The next day, when the DMV denies his refund request, Simon lashes out, leading to his arrest. The incident becomes news, resulting in Simon losing his job and his wife filing for divorce and sole custody of their daughter. Unsuccessful in securing a new job, Simon discovers his car towed again. Frustrated, he loads the car with explosives and parks it in a tow zone. After the vehicle is towed once more, he triggers the explosives, demolishing the towing office with no casualties. Simon is incarcerated but becomes a local hero dubbed Little Bomb. On social media, rallies are made to support his release. On his birthday, his wife and daughter visit him in prison, presenting a cake shaped like the cartoon tow truck mater from Cars. Segment 5, The Bill. A teenager, driving his wealthy father's car, returns home after being involved in a hit and run with a pregnant woman. The local news reports the woman and her child as deceased, and her husband vows revenge. In an attempt to avoid legal consequences, the teenager's parents, along with his lawyer, set up a plan to use their groundskeeper, Joss, as a scapegoat in exchange for $500,000. The local prosecutor, however, sees through the scheme. The lawyer tries to include the prosecutor in the deal for more money. Meanwhile, the guilty son says he wants to confess his crimes. Frustrated, the father cancels the deal and tells his son to confess. However, the lawyer renegotiates, still pinning the blame on Joss, but now for a lower amount. As Joss is taken into police custody, the deceased woman's husband brutally attacks him with a hammer on the head. Segment 6, Till Death Do Us Part. During a Jewish wedding celebration, the bride, Romina, finds out that her groom, Ariel, has engaged in a sexual encounter with one of the attendees. Romina confronts Ariel while they dance in front of everyone, and distressed by the revelation, she rushes to the rooftop. There, a kitchen worker provides comfort to Romina. She tells Ariel that she will be involved with any man who shows interest, and will claim everything he owns if he tries to divorce her or after his death. Despite the turmoil, the couple returns to the reception and resumes the festivities. Romina takes the woman with whom Ariel had the encounter onto the dance floor, twirls her around, and pushes her into a mirror. Romina tells the photographer to capture Ariel and his mother in tears to show the footage at a future wedding. Ariel's mother tries to attack Romina, but Ariel and Romina's father separate them. Overwhelmed with emotion, Romina collapses. Ariel approaches Romina and extends a hand. They then dance, share a kiss, and start to engage in intimacy as the guests leave. Thanks for watching. To catch all the latest from us, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as a new video drops. We'll see you in the next one.